Yeah, I put it up there and it just broke, man. Damn. But like I said to you, I'll apologize if it's not him or his mother later. And then see, look, and then come in your school, I don't even see none of the kids no more because it's only a few more minutes. And like when I was in the long line, it was at the main time, so I don't even get to see none of their parents or whoever. If you had somebody bothering you, because it's not gonna be embarrassing like how I was right there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just talked to the parent by herself. You see what I'm saying? So how could another kid know about it?
Mm-hmm.
But in your grade, if I walk up to another kid, you see what I'm saying? If I walk up to another kid, they'll know, but they won't because like say if I was talking to this parent right here, and then I'm right here behind you, and I get out and talk to her, nobody else won't know what we talked about. So don't look at it as being embarrassed because embarrassing. I'm trying to figure out a way to make sure it gets through to these people.
Yeah.
Because like I told you, they won't communicate. They won't say nothing. They'll just, it's an old saying, they'll throw rocks and hide their hand. Like, that's so corny. I can't be doing that. We can't be having y'all learn like that. Because then y'all the main ones that get in trouble. And you know why y'all get in trouble? I keep telling you because you're the one that's nice and sweet. So they looking at you like, oh, James ain't gonna do nothing. James ain't gonna say nothing. Not do nothing like fight-wise, but James he's not gonna argue with me because we know his parents taught him to have manners and show adults respect. You know what I'm saying? Other kids, they know that too, but they'll argue back and forth with the teacher and anything like that. Just because they feel like they know better. And that's why I'm telling y'all to do. I'm telling y'all, go back and forth with the teacher. Go ahead. If you know you right, don't let her shut you up. She's not gonna walk over there and grab your lips like grandma. She's not gonna walk over there and keep you quiet, right?
Yeah.
So tell them, explain yourself, but don't explain yourself without your hands, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, good. I'll see you later. Don't explain yourself with your, like talking with your hands or moving your fingers like that. See you later. Go ahead.
My dad, see you.
Yeah, it's broke, so I can't do nothing with it.
See you, Dad.
See you. Man. There was a kid, my holder, my phone thing broke, man. But there was a kid that pushed my 8-year-old, my third grader last week on Friday at the end of the line. So mind you, I asked my son, was he wrong? Was it him? Blah, blah, blah. I asked him all these questions. I was like, did you do it? Are you sure you ain't do it? I'm like, you sure? Did you bother him last week? Did you bother him at some point in time? Whatever. What'd you do to him? That's why I kept asking him. I'm like, did you bother him? Whatever. What did you do to him? What do you think you did to him that he don't like? It's something, even if you can't figure it out right now, look at it like this. You did do something that he don't like. Point blank. Something. So I'm trying to get you to tell me, my son. If you don't want to tell me, don't tell me. But I want you to know that you did something that he don't like. Point blank. It's just that simple to it. And ain't nothing wrong with saying that. It's just we gotta be honest. Maybe it's something I told my son, like maybe it's something that you did like work-wise. Maybe you're the quick one to always answer a question and he's tired of it because it's Friday and he pushed you at the end of the day before the line's over. So he really wants to do some kind of harm to you. He wants to show you that he's tougher than you, but he doesn't want to actually, get in trouble and he don't want to do it in the middle of the week, beginning of the week. Same stuff like kids do. But when it's Friday, it also shows me that he been holding on to it. So that's why I'm trying to say, like, man, there's kids at my school when I was growing up, they did that to me. Like, kids would attack somebody or hit somebody on a Friday, not thinking that we're going to come back. I'm going to see you Monday. Like, so that kid didn't even come yesterday. So what I did was for the past 2 days when I'm picking my kid, I didn't tell him over the weekend. I just said, that's in my head. I'm going to talk to the parent because basically what happened is they was in line getting called, and then once he got called, I guess the other kid, his name's Alex, he got called first, and when he got called, he pushed my son, and my son sat on the floor instead of getting up and mollywopping him like he normally would. He sat on the floor because he was just so surprised, and it's Friday, he ready to go home too. So, and then the teacher looked back and said that it was him, stop playing around. My son was playing around. Mind you, this teacher I'm cool with, but she just a younger and a weird teacher. Now, look, I'm not trying to talk bad about her, but she really is, because she one of those teachers. I remember when I went to meet her, it was because my son was doing good, and they were telling me the one thing that he could be working on. Like, I think it was a little bit of math. And I don't know, she just felt like she just wasn't excited. Like, why do I gotta be excited? I just want to hear these people that I never met explain to me how my son was doing. I made this video before because I told y'all that was my first time being in their school because COVID happened. Once COVID happened, a lot of schools shut down and they wouldn't let the parents even in the school. They wouldn't let us have like cakes and none of that stuff for them. So that was just one of the things. I was just sitting there real quiet trying to listen to her and to pay attention. Like my son was sitting there next to me. He was excited because he had good grades and he been wanting to meet his teachers. But I was just sitting there just listening. So I'm like, all right, I'm like, okay. So I already met her before. And I remember one time I had told her to no. I was in the hallway when I came to the school and she didn't speak or something, and I was like, okay. She didn't see me when I'm the only person in the hallway. But I'm trying to tell you, white people, they do that. Like they really do that and they think it's okay. They think that because you won't say nothing, it's okay. And then when you do say something, they do the same thing that white people do. That's kids. They'll say something, but they'll acknowledge it like how they want to, where it's like, oh, it don't really matter, oh, whatever. I'm telling you, that stuff is not cool. That is not cool how white people get to do stuff, and then when you confront them about it, you looked at it as the angry person. You looked at it as the person that's like aggressive and all this wild, corny shit. I'm telling you, that is so corny. But that's the stuff that we still go through. We go through that. I was going through that in the black community from other black kids, and now it's like it's worse because it's white kids and it's happening to my kids. And I never had that happen to me. I never had white kids bother me. So it's really, really confusing how that happened and how that plays out. But anyway, I don't even want to say her name, but my son, third grade teacher at his school. So, I'll tell you her name in the future when he leave out the school or something like that. But she's not mean or nothing. I mean, she just like young and passive. That's really it. And I don't know, she's just not excited. She's like one of them teachers that wants to be serious, but taking it too serious. Like she one of them teachers that I do not want to see with a gun. Like that's my whole point. Like certain teachers, I would never want to see them with no gun. I would never, I just never would. And even the teachers I feel like could handle a gun, I don't want to see them with a gun either. That got it effed up if a teacher should have a gun. No, they should not. They should not. And for this main reason right here, a teacher don't know how to handle situations. Like, no, man. Please don't put no guns in my school, my son's school. Please, man. I'm dead ass serious. I do not want no guns in none of my teachers' hands for my kids. I don't care if maybe we was going up in Newark, but even then, like if we was going up in my city, they wouldn't even do that because the teachers have a certain level of respect and there's a little decor there. Like this crazy stuff that goes on happens in these suburban white areas where these teachers and these kids just feel like they gotta overexert themselves. That's where this stuff happens at. And well, my community, it happens, but it's happening out of like macho and unchanneled testosterone and poverty reasons and just anger amongst each other. Other places it's happening because they try to prove something. And that's exactly what that kid tried to do with my son, pushing him. And for whatever reason, on a Friday, so I was basically going to get back to the point. My son didn't tell me what really happened, so I'm telling you right now, I know what happened. You did something to him that he don't like, whether it is you not telling me about sometime you hit him, whether it's you not telling me about some time you might have played him out in front of somebody else, some dumb little girl stuff maybe, or maybe it was just work reason. Maybe you were too on point for him and work in the classroom. You take the shot from the teacher. Any of those reasons could be why he pushed you. And what I'm trying to tell you is he should have did that because you're not going to school doing it. That's my whole point. My son ain't going to school doing it. And if it was my son doing it, he'll be the one to get in trouble. So let's round this up. What I did was I went and asked because for the past 2 days, my mind ain't been there. Whenever my kids get bothered with teacher, student, whoever, my mind don't be in the right place. My mind is never in the right place because I be trying to figure out how I can resolve this the proper way, but also my way. And so what I said was, I'm going to talk to the parent. I told her to say that when it happened, because I was asking him so many questions, like, how can we teach you this, blah, blah, teach you that. So I'm like, I'm going to talk to the parent whenever I see him. And I'm like, just let me know what truck it is. And I said, what's the kid's name? Alex. So what I did was, we had a white car behind us, but I knew it wasn't the truck because my son told me it was a pickup truck last week. He told me it was a white pickup truck. And I was like, all right, so I'm expecting to see that white pickup truck because he said that that's the truck that he got in when, because he got in his truck after I picked up my son. So I'm like, okay, I've seen that white pickup truck before, so I'm like, I'll just ask him Monday. Yesterday, they didn't come. So I didn't even get to barely even ask my son about his day, how he was doing, because I had that in my mind. I didn't be angry at my son and, tell him, like, no. I just asked him like, did the kid come to school today? Now, hoping that he hit him or do nothing to him. I was asking if he came to school today, and I was asking how he was treating him. He told me he didn't come to school that day. Then today comes, so I'm asking about their morning, but as we get closer and closer to the school, I'm looking. And the way their school is, I got to wrap around a whole hill in order to pull into their school. So it's like I'm missing my chance to see if the parent is there to look and pull up on him and talk to him. So when we pull up, since my son tells me that first of all, before we even pull up to the school, while we wrapping around that hill, I tell my son, I asked him, is this the white truck behind me? Just to ask, because I mean, it's the only white truck I'm going to be able to see for today, for this morning. So just ask, and he said no. We get closer, and he gets out, and he's unloaded into the school, and then the white truck pulls behind me, and he's saying, Dad, it is that truck. And I'm like, sister, I just asked you that. Are you sure? And he was like, yes. And he just said, the way he said yes was like how my son normally says yes, like he is sure, but at the same time, he's like, it's not like he wasn't sure, but it was a little percentage of that my son wasn't sure. I feel like it wasn't, because I just asked him. That's the only reason why I feel like that. But his confidence behind his yes was strong. So now I'm asking, and now as soon as I hear him say that, I'm like, okay, cool, perfect. So all I did was, because he just got out of the car, so I pull up to like the next little spot, let people come in behind me. I put in park. My son next to me puts his head down. We'll get to that in a second. I hop out. I get out gently, walk over, and I tell her, the young lady, mind you, she had a short haircut. I didn't know it was a girl. I thought it was a dude. If it was a mother, I was going to ask her anyway. I was going to ask whoever parent it was. I don't care. But if it was a dude, I was really hoping. That's why I walked over so much faster. I thought it was a male. But she had a shorter haircut. I told her, just like exactly like this. I said, hi, your son pushed my son last Friday, and my son got in trouble for it. And she's like this, Mike, could you tell your son not to do that no more? And then she said, sure. And I just walked right away. And then I saw her look back at the car and look back at my car. When I told y'all before how I got my blackness on my car and where I'm from on my car. I got my Iraq tags on my car, even though they didn't come in yet, but people don't know that. But I got my Iraq service tags on the car too, though. The cops know that when they put them numbers in, and they look stupid when they try to run my numbers and they see a whole Iraq tag, and it's like, damn, they didn't even know this nigga goofies, because I ain't even doing nothing wrong. Y'all just goofy. They're just assuming stuff. That's what I don't like about the state in this time. 2023 is still acting like it's 2005, like 2013 when I first moved out here, and they kept following me around. I had veteran tags. But anyway, so I'm looking at, I'm like, and then when I got to the car, my son had his head down. And I'm like, bro, why you got your head down for? I'm like, why you do this, James? Where your confidence at? He was like, no, man, because I don't think that was the kid. I'm like, James, but what you got your head down for? Is my point. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand, son. I'm like, I could be wrong. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Your dad could be wrong. First of all, you saw your principal, your old principal right there, and one of the teachers out there. She did every day when I said it to her. Mind you, nobody even knew what I said to her. I said it to her. The son walked out the car. Nobody, it was just a conversation that only me and her know. Maybe she did tell that principal before she pulled out. If she was smart enough, she should have. But I don't know. But she didn't. But I don't know. Maybe she did tell her what I said. But all I know is I'm handling it my way, because I'm tired of my son getting in trouble for stuff, and they going to school putting their best foot forward, and they're handsome and smart, and I got kids hating on them. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that, because it's my main thing. I'm not sending my kids to school to be bothered by you, or to bother you, or to harass your child. My kids are not going to school for that. But back to what I was saying. I told my son, I'm like, all right, I could be wrong, man. And I'm getting kind of upset with him, because I'm like, man, how dare you put your head down when I'm talking to a parent about stuff that's going on? I'm confronting a situation. I'm doing something that people won't do. This is how it originally started, James, with solve problems. Talk about it. Let people know what happened and talk about it. So now my point is, like you said, now let me get back to your point. If I was wrong, then I could just openly admit I was wrong to her and put my pride away and not care. I won't care. It's my son. That's what I'm telling him. I'm like, when we go back later on today, when I pick them up, and if I see her, and if I ask her, was that his mother or was that not his mother? And if it was her, if it's not his mother, then I will go up to her, and I know she probably already upset, because I already threw off her day probably. Trust me, because you know what I mean? Somebody walk up and say that your kid pushed her. She probably wanted to say more, but she didn't. But it's cool, though, because she don't know the truth or not. I was telling her what my son said. So, and I wanted to say more, but I didn't want to make it a whole big thing right then and there. I just told her what my son said, and that was it. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I could walk back up to her tomorrow, later on today when I pick them up, and say, you You know, I was wrong. Like that, my son that wasn't there. What I really should have did was ask, is your son named Alex? Because that's the kid. And then it could have been a whole nother Alex, but still, that at least I could have did that. But I did. I just went right off my son's word like a dummy. Like I really feel dumb about doing that. But I don't mind going back later and apologizing. I don't got no care about these people. Like I'll go back to them later on and I'll tell her, like, you know, I really do apologize about that. My son told me that, and we've been thinking about it all week. Well, I was thinking about it all weekend because I don't send my kid here to get bothered by nobody, and I don't like when I hear him being bothered. So I really do apologize about that, and I won't bother you no more. That's basically what I would say. But I was trying to tell my son that I'm okay with doing that, and I have done that a bunch of times. I told him that. I do that with my son. If he does something wrong, I'm quick to tell him, like, yo, if I did something wrong, I'm quick to tell him, like, yeah, I was wrong. So forgive me. I was wrong. I was wrong for that. And I told him that. He knows that. I'm like, I was wrong. That's not how I should have did that. Blah, 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 whatever. And then I move on from it. He may look at it like, damn, Dad just really don't care. But no, apology is still an apology. Now that I apologize, give me a chance to show that I'm never going to do it again. That's the point of it. So that's where we at with it. So I don't know. Because the teachers, they made it really seem like my son didn't do it. And mind you, he probably did. I don't know. But what I'm trying to show is that if my son is involved in something, I'm in there. And yes, I'm involved with his school stuff too, but this physical, social, climate stuff, to me, is a bit more important right now. Because my son is not doing none of this stuff to these people. That's all my point is. And I'm about to go. Make sure y'all bringing up any issues that y'all kids are having. They look at y'all as heroes, you know? Be their hero. Support them. That's really all it was. So said, no, I'm going to support him. And my oldest knows that, you know, I'm wrong. That's a real thing. That's why my oldest probably was embarrassed or want to be embarrassed, so that put his head down. And I'm telling my James, don't be embarrassed for nothing I do. Or well, I could go back and apologize. Because I'm not about to let people just keep doing stuff to y'all, and we the ones that got to be okay with it. It's not happening, James. I'm letting them know it's not happening. It's not going to ever happen. I'm not going to wait till it happens and then I'm going to just say, okay, I'm going to turn around and act like I don't want it to happen. Or no, it's not happening. This is not happening. I'm not letting y'all be disrespected when other people don't let their kids get disrespected. It's not happening. That's the whole point. So anything, I know how to keep it from happening. Like, because I'm not even, I keep saying I'm coming from there. I just know how to handle these situations. I really do. And these people don't. They don't. They do stuff like I told you how white people do. They'll, like, at all ages, I know this. My son maybe get, like, maybe a kid will try to maybe fake go off on my son for kicking his water bottle. Mind you, a whole bunch of other kids already did it. My son said that a bunch of times already. And I'm like, dang, they doing that because they're picking and choosing. But then as soon as my son, he said he always went to him and said, like, bro, you ain't say nothing when this person did it. But when I kick it, but I told my son, I said, why are you kicking it anyway? Why you got to go over there and kick it anyway? For what? That's corny. Just because other kids did it, that you want to go over there and do it. And now he telling you to fall back and he don't like you doing it. But regardless, I said, he'd be like, you why you ain't say nothing to them when they did it? And he said they'll sit there and be quiet and just looking at him. I'm like, and they say that every time. Whenever they do something, a white kid does something to one of my sons, and my son says something back and responds back or does something back, they sit there staring and looking quiet. It's like, what the fuck? Who teaches y'all to be ignorant and then not, like, follow it up with nothing? Y'all gonna get y'all ass beat or hurt one day. What type of thinking is that? Like, y'all doing stuff, but then y'all realize people are responding back to it, but y'all not. Like, that don't make no sense. How you not going to defend yourself verbally, nothing, when somebody's on you, when you started it? Yeah, my son shouldn't have kicked that water bottle, I get it. But there's a bunch of other examples where my son did something that another kid did, but not towards his stuff, but then this kid want to get upset now. Come on now. Get out of here, man. I'm telling you, these kids think that they think they be doing something. They think that they special. That's all it is, and they not. They ain't special. It's what society has made to seem like we ain't nothing. That's black people. That's what it is. I gotta go before I go off anymore. I'm gonna go inside and work out. It's been a little overcast today for the past few days. I ain't been to work in a few days. I was sick. Sick of the mind. I was off, and then I got sick on Saturday, like early Saturday morning, like blood and a bunch of weird throw up feeling where I ain't throw up in years. I ain't eaten nothing or had nothing done to me where I had to throw up and I was throwing up. My stomach was not feeling good. Sunday wasn't too good either. But I didn't work out, so I'm gonna go work out right now. And I'll catch y'all later. I hope you have a good day. I'll tell you about what happened tomorrow. What else we got going on in the news? We'll talk about it tomorrow.